Bro, just go through this transcript and look up when she says autistic. It's directed at me. She calls me autistic like 10 times. Oh shit, she's so fucking dumb it crashed my stream. It crashed Opera. You know what? Fuck it. At this point, I don't even care who to raid. Bro, it's just, I don't even care. I've already streamed for like 4 hours and 30 minutes. I'm like done for the day, bro. I'm done for the day. Yo, I'm just ending stream. Peace out, guys.
I almost felt bad for Saint in this clip. For a moment, my empathy for another human being overrode my better judgment, because at the end of the day, I'm human and so is he. Then I remembered the pattern of the things he said and done. This is the guy that insinuated that genocide was a PDF file, one of the worst accusations you can throw at someone, over gacha drama of all things, then pretended everyone else was insane for recognising the implication in the joke.
And you want to know what I have to say about that? All I did was compare Maggie, a childlike character, to Rosia, another childlike character. And if you're going ahead and you're the individual that's trying to go to the next level with that, if you're trying to imply that there's a deeper meaning to that, all I said is he's a fan of Maggie and he's a fan of Rosia. That's it.
A guy that then gave a fake apology that boiled down to sorry for comparing you to Maggie, and then followed it up by implying it again by saying he'd love to see Genozad's DMs with Lakari, someone recently exposed for disgusting behaviour, potentially. He consistently minimises things that he said and maximises the smallest transgressions against him. A guy that compared not talking about Arknight Enfield's gacha as akin to not speaking up about the Holocaust. Ridiculously insane statements.
There are certain things where if you don't want to have an opinion on it, people will think worse of you. If you don't want to have an opinion about Arknight's gacha, this is like not having an opinion about the Holocaust.
No sane person would say something like that.
A guy that claimed people who sided with CJ were essentially working for an arms manufacturer that drops bombs on children in a third world country.
They're all gonna take some damage. Congratulations, you now work for a weapons manufacturer that is killing kids in, like, I don't know, a random third world country. Congratulations, that's your new job. Maybe do a little bit of research because before you throw your hat in the ring with
a guy that scours Discord servers for things other people have said, not the person he's arguing with, and presents those as proof of intent that somebody is in fact racist. A guy that does the same thing once again to try and prove that somebody is anti-Semitic or homophobic. A guy that used hyped up Epstein-style edits in his videos when talking about his so-called list of gacha victims he's gone through the previous year, once again including genocide in that list. A guy that talks about a friend in a disgusting manner and allows others in his community to say horrible things about her, even after she's asked him to stop, then turns around and demands the same respect from her. A guy that treats this same friend as just another metric for his YouTube channel and then claims he's the victim of bad friends. A guy that mocked another creator for the Singaporean accent and then immediately played the race card and painted himself as a victim after being told he looks like Bobby Lee. A guy that has spent the last year going after anyone and everyone who steps outside his rigid rule set of what opinions are allowed. A guy who single-handedly made the EN gacha community worse. A guy who's threatened other content creators to come to him and bend the knee or there'll be problems. All of these things and more is exactly why I caught myself from feeling bad for him for a moment. This guy has brought this all upon himself. So let's talk about his supposed 1v9 and his ultimate clapback of the ages. How we all got destroyed because we're all spineless, talentless hacks. Dogs running in just to catch a bit of clout from the god king Saintontas himself. All good. It is a shame though that video got taken down. First, I don't like seeing anyone's video get nuked. Second, I genuinely don't think there was anything in that warranted YouTube taking down the video, unless it was because of the false accusations maybe, I don't know. But the main reason I wanted it to stay up was because it was evidence of Saintontas' weakest clapback yet. It was a video where he avoided acknowledging the majority of the points raised by me, Pharos, Captain Cabinet and CJ, and instead focused on one specific point. He then used that single point as a logical fallacy that it was proof that everything else was just not true and not even worth talking about or proving wrong. He'd already proven everything wrong, right, because of this one specific point. This is a tried and tested debating method and one most people will see right through, although I'm sure his fan base will still eat it up as they have a severe issue in processing logical information. So, what was the undeniable proof of everything in all of these videos coming from all of these content creators was lies? Well, it's that in a stream, Skull CJ had said that he didn't think Saintontas had defended Tectone when everything was going on with Tectone, when it appears that Saint kind of did stick up for Tectone. And then that is fact that everything else that follows in all of the other videos from me, from Pharos, from CJ, what Captain Cabinet's talked about was all bullshit and wasn't even worth referencing. He then went on to use the typical thing that he's used before. Let's scour a Discord server and somehow attempt to conflate and attach the things that other people have said to the person who he's debating with. Somebody said something horrible in your Discord server, so obviously you agree with it, which CJ then replied with, well, you've got the same sort of people in your server, although Saint, I'm not accusing you of feeling that way just because these people have said this. Saint didn't want that. He wanted to show that he had removed the people from his server, or there was still some green names in there. But again, I don't attach the things that other people have said and try and make that out that that is the intent of the person you're speaking about. It is a poor debate tactic. It just doesn't work, and it doesn't mean the person thinks like something that somebody else has said in their Discord server or in their community. It does not make you a racist or a homophobe because somebody else has said things within your server, whether they've been banned or not, or you were late to banning them. Now, you do want to get rid of those people. I've recently got rid of somebody in my own Discord server who was saying really obnoxious things about Saint. I'm okay with people roasting Saint in my Discord server because lots of people do not like the guy. I know, shock horror. But when it goes too far, they'll get booted. But you can't attach those sentiments to the person you're debating with. It is wholly disingenuous, and anybody with a brain knows that content creators cannot control what is said within their servers. They can police it, but even if they're a little bit lax on policing it, it still does not in any way attach intent to that person. So another false argument that he used. Also, his other angle that he can play the victim card from is that CJ is racist because he keeps using Bobby Lee's face in his thumbnails and calling him Bobby Lee, which now all of a sudden he's using as a victim card to play the race game when he's been called this for the longest time. He's well aware of it and has had no issue with it up until now, but it's the perfect tool to play the victim at this specific moment because he has no real ammunition to fire back other than strawman arguments, manipulating the conversation and trying to accuse people of all of the isms to muddy the water and poison the well. You look like Bobby Lee. You know you look like Bobby Lee. Your own community know you look like Bobby Lee. This has nothing to do with Race Saint. Stop playing the race card. It's not working. And this was basically the entirety of his arguments, apart from one little more clip that I'd like you to watch. Watch Saint's view, and then we'll actually watch the full view of what was said.
All wrong with no, and they have no, like, why would I watch your videos when this is what you say in them?
Wait. No one likes you here. The people that enjoy your content are 12-year-old groomed kids that
What's the point?
Groomed over the past.
What's the point of watching this vid?
No one likes you here. The people that enjoy your content are 12-year-old groomed kids that you have groomed over the past several fucking days, years. And I'm telling you this because your audience literally acts like children. Brigading people's channels, really, you're brigading their channels. They spam gay in the chat when you show a picture of a dude without a shirt. Does that sound like a grown individual to you, like a mature person? Does that sound like a person with like their mind and brains and everything fully developed? Really?
See how he paused it at just the right time to make it look like CJ's inferring something that Saint himself has inferred about other people. But if you watch the full clip, you can see the context is CJ is talking about how dented his audience is, that they actually appear to be children who you have spent a long time curating to be a massive echo chamber that acts like little children, but actually were spamming. Well, I'm 30 odd, I'm 40 odd. Those people should be incredibly ashamed of their behaviour and how they act like grown-ass men acting like this in the channel of somebody who is clearly leading them up the garden path for his own gain. He does these little things all of the time to flip the context, to move the goalposts, to try and make it look like people are doing the things we know for a fact he has done, but when he does it, it's a minor thing, but when somebody else does it, it's another excuse to why do I even need to acknowledge all of the other valid points, because I've got some strawmans here that really make it look like the person has no argument, which is clear if you do watch the videos, not only from me, from Pharos, you saw what happened with Captain Cabinets, and you've saw the content coming from CJ. There's many brilliant points brought up, and Saint has done an amazing job at dodging every single valid point that's been brought up over the last few days, and specifically focusing on ones he thinks he can use to then make all the other points look bad without even acknowledging them. This is poor form. Again, Saint usually comes with all of the evidence, watches people's videos entirely. Dude has sat there for 5 hours roasting somebody about the B-roll, but these videos don't even require his energy to prove them wrong. Not one video that he showed in that entire stream or video did he actually show any context of these videos to prove anything incorrect. It was either CJ's just lying because maybe he made a misstep on regards to the point around the Twitter post, or regarding me and Pharos, well, we're just here for the clout, so let's not even acknowledge the points that were made in those videos, as if people like me and Pharos are really here in the same regard as Saint. Saint pays his rent with his stuff. We don't. I've been doing this for years. It's a hobby. I know people like Saint can't get their head around that not everybody is doing content creation for clout or for money. They do it because it's a fun time. I know, shock, horror, insane thought to say, but this guy, that's all he had when it came to me. Not even going to acknowledge the video, just going to gets no views, moving on. I just want to add on the whole doing it for views situation as well, because I know that's a favourite thing that people in his community love to do. That's always the defence that they think of when it comes to defending Saint. They're only coming after you for views. Hating Saint gets views. Remember, not too long ago, I made a video with my opinions on 3.0. A lot of people didn't like that, and a lot of content creators reacted to it, chain reacted to it, including Saint. Did I make videos responding to those videos? Did I react to their reactions and start beef with those content creators? No. Why? Because I don't always make content specifically in the idea to gain views. Not everybody is here just to do whatever it takes to get as many views as possible. Think that so many people are actually questioning Saint and his attitude. Maybe it's not about the views. Maybe everybody else isn't the bad guy. And maybe there's a common denominator of why so many people are calling somebody out. Is it for clout? Is it because they're a hater? Or is it because your so-called messiah is a bit of a dickhead? And then his gotcha to Pharos, which it's a shame that he went after Pharos actually, because I watched the Pharos video. Shout out to Pharos actually for having a level head on his shoulder for a dude who looks young, right? He's got to be like max 20, I'm assuming, right? And he's probably the most mature out of all of us in the space. And shout out to him for, you know, playing a bit of defense for me in regards to when Saint and everybody else attacked me for no reason, just because I had an opinion. But Pharos was so fair in his video. All he did was say, can we like stop this? And Saint puts a hit out on him too. And he's gotcha. What's his gotcha? He DM'd him asking about being on a podcast. Like, is that the point proven? All right then, proving him wrong. He DM'd me one day. So everything he said in his video has no meaning. Refused to acknowledge all of the valid points. Literally glossed over all of them. Focused on a couple of things and comes out saying, I 1v9'd him. Bro, you were fighting shadows in this entire video. Actually, a moronic video. I've never seen one so bad from you, and that's saying something because you have got some terrible assassination attempts in your catalogue, in character assassinations on people, in muddying the water, in poisoning the well. You spent the entire video poisoning the well, but came with zero glue, zero proof, and 0 points. All you had was Discord messages and attaching them to somebody else's intent, lying about the whole Captain Cabinet situation, which I'm hoping that she proves everything, because I saw some of that stream and you were acting like the biggest baby I have ever seen. You are a man-child, and I hope that Pharos actually gets to explain himself properly as well, and everybody else who was involved in this, because again, I don't want the community to descend into what it's become, but you have become a terrible part of this space, a stain on the Ian Gacha space, and I hope that the entire community can move past this. You can continue to be a little goblin in your goblin cave doing goblin things, and everybody continue just to have fun. And I hope it kind of, maybe a naive thought to have, allows the community to heal. Because one thing that came from this, or I think was a positive, there was a lot of CCs talking, and I hope that we can progress beyond this now, because I do think there's been one person at the centre of majority of the arguments, of the drama, and the PvP between CCs, and we're talking about him right now, and it's coming back upon him. This video was terrible. It was terribly made. It was terribly framed, and you did not prove anything in this video. You refused to acknowledge valid points, focused on points that really didn't have any bearing on the conversation, and tried to use them as proof that all the other points were false as well. Sad to see. You even had Tectone coming into bat for you in the comment section. It didn't even help. Actually, one of the worst attempts at a comeback that I've seen from you, Saint. You need to do better. I also do want to say once again though, it is a shame to see the video taken down. I don't want to see people's content getting nuked. I don't like the idea of people trying to mass report people's content. I didn't like it when Saint was threatening to do it to CJ, and I don't like it going back the other way. But you can't ignore the irony of the whole situation. And people do say, karma's a bitch.
Because you want to know what one of the most important lat exercises is, guys? Dumbbell raises. Dumbbell raises. Nobody likes doing these ones. Nobody likes doing these, okay?